All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Wilson triggers undercover feminists who claim be traditional. Let's jump in.
So in modernity, I'm not sure that we can really have traditionalism anymore. So that like the ideas you guys are going back and forth on about things like chivalry. Chivalry is now inconsequential. There's no incentive for men to be chivalrous. So chivalry used to be done for the purpose of a virtuous woman, who was chaste and who was following kind of higher virtues. And you showing your forms of chivalry were showing yourself as being a good mate, right? Or that you had virtues equal to hers. That's why she would select you. But I see no reason for men to be chivalrous at all in modernity. If women have equality, that makes no sense.
She says what? So you disagree?
I'm not a feminist in any. I don't subscribe to feminism.
Guarantee it, you do. Guarantee.
No,
it.
I'm not about the. I don't believe men and women are equal and should be equal. I think they're different. I think they're equal. Their roles are equally as important. I just think they're different. So
then they're equal.
No, their roles are just as
you see that is no, that's a feminist argument right there.
important as the other role, but totally different.
That sounds like equality to me.
I don't think we should be.
If I was, let's say I was a CEO of a company, and I went to two people and I said, your roles are completely equal but different. Do you think that those two people now think the other person's the boss or has higher value than them or anything like that? Or do you think that they think they're equal?
No, I just think that.
Can you answer my question real quick?
You confused me. Say it again.
Yeah, so if your boss came to you and said, your role is different than this other person you're working with, but just as important, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't he just established equality between the two of you?
They need to be right.
I think they're equal in importance.
Yeah, so they're equal.
They're just as important as the other. So maybe equal in a sense, but I don't think you should treat men and women equally. Like I don't think women should be like holding the door for men or protecting men or going to war. Like
Wait, what? You don't believe that women should protect and care for their partners
in a sense
to the same extent?
In a sense, I don't think women should be the one who go and fight.
No,
you know what I mean?
Draft them up. Draft the women.
Well,
help
holding the door?
Huh? Well, I mean, if he's behind me, I'll hold it. I'm just saying that I'm not going to act like a man. I'm not going to go around and open the door for him and walk him to his car. And I'm not going to.
In this world, if my partner, if we were parked in a sketchy spot and he was going to walk alone, sure, I'll walk him to his car. What the heck?
Okay. Just very, very quickly back to this. So I understand. I think I understand what you're saying. So to be as charitable as I can be to you, you're just saying look, men and women are completely different.
Yeah.
Right. But they're similar in value. Right.
Correct.
They're similar in value. Okay.
Correct.
I get it. But if you agree then that men and women are different, shouldn't they have different privileges in society?
Good point.
But give me an example.
Like, for instance, why should women vote?
I love this topic. I just love this topic so much. Guys, you have no idea. When it comes down to this back and forward and, patriarchy and feminism, the right to vote. I just like to hear an argument. The arguments going back and forth regarding this topic. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think
because this is where the problem really starts, guys. This is where the fundamental problem of our current situation starts with this topic.
Should take it to that extreme. I think women are.
But wait,
women are pretty intelligent and can make.
Wait! I thought you wanted the privilege of men to fight wars. So why do you get to vote on whether or not they go and fight them?
I think women can vote because they're pretty intelligent and they can make a simple decision on
So
the
they get to
country.
Vote to make men go and fight wars on their behalf, and even though that sounds like a position of privilege to me. It sounds like feminism.
Well, you have to also think about if a
Hang
woman's
on.
No. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. And this is we need to disseminate Some of these arguments, guys. And you guys don't realize that when females jump in, they're defending each other, right? They're not defending Andrew. They're defending each other. Because what Andrew's saying is correct. You're telling me that you're voting to send men to war. You have the same power that a regular man has, but the man has to send the war. And personally, that's one of my fears. That it get to a point where the majority of our system is run by females, and they make bad decisions, and men has to go to be the one that has to go and fight these wars. That's a concern, guys. And we see how dispensable a lot of these female politicians think about men. It's very, very, how can I say this? It's very worrisome. How these females think about men and politics. They think that men are just disposables. And it makes sense because their mindset, think about it, they're not respecting men. First of all, they don't even respect men. They only respect the 1% of the men. So you put that on top of your leader, not even the 1% is respected. So no man is respected. So that means that you have no empathy when you send it to war.
Well, you have to also think about if a woman's on the front lines.
Let her answer before the sisterhood gets involved. We'll get
There you go.
I promise. I would just like to real quick finish the exchange, right? Do you think that men should be able to, or women should be able to vote to send men to war?
To vote to send men to war?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think men should go to war. I don't know about voting for it. I
Yeah,
don't
do you
know.
think women should go to war?
No.
Then you have put women in a position of privilege. Do you see? Because what you've said now is that women should be allowed to vote for you to go to war, but they themselves will never have to fight the war that they voted you to go and fight. Now, do you understand why you're actually talking about a distinction of privilege rather than, you're not even talking about equality now. Now we've passed that. Now we've gotten into feminist privilege.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? Yeah, 13 females. And this panel, guys. 13. And he planted a seed to all of them. These are arguments that are going to be around for a long time, guys. This right here.
Men and women are different, so me as a woman, I deserve shit because men can do things I can't do.
I didn't say I deserve shit. I'm just saying.
Well, do you deserve to have
women
fight and protect you?
I think men should fight to protect. Men are the protectors and the providers. They're stronger than us.
Then why is it that women get a say in how they conduct that fighting and protection?
I don't know. Do they get a say in that?
Yes.
Can women vote in female politicians who can authorize war acts?
Yes.
Can't male politicians?
Hey, lady, be quiet.
Sure. And can women vote those politicians in?
Yeah, I mean, I voted for a male.
So then what you're saying is that women can essentially vote, like let's say a politician runs on a platform. Let's say a politician runs on a platform of, I'm going to go to war with this country over here, okay? Whatever country that is. And all of the men vote against that politician, but all the women vote for him. In her scenario, what would end up happening is men would have to go and fight the war that they didn't want to go fight on behalf of women, and women themselves would not have to participate in said war. Right?
I mean, I think women have a lot of roles in the military. It doesn't have to be
but
limited
can you
to
answer my
combat
question
time.
first? Before you shift, can you answer my question first?
Okay, can you restate it?
So theoretically, isn't it the case that if women
He's locked in.
all voted for a single politician and all the men voted against him,
Come
right?
on, man.
You realize women outnumber men, right? That politician wanted to go to war, then men would have to go and fight the war, and women would be the ones who voted them in to go and fight it, right?
I mean, in a sense, but that could happen reversed.
No, there's no in a sense. Isn't it the case that if all the women voted for that person, all the men voted against that person, they're in office, they could send men off to war?
Yes, they could, absolutely.
So then, and they themselves would not have to fight that war, right?
The women.
The women.
I mean, I know a lot of women who
lady,
gone to
man,
wars and fought.
Okay, so the thing is she says women shouldn't fight in wars, right? We're using her worldview. So let's say in this society, women don't fight in any wars, right? And they don't right now, by the way, in this society. They don't fight in frontline combat or in the infantry. They're not allowed to. But we're just giving her worldview. She doesn't believe women should fight in wars. If that's the case, why should women be able to vote to send men to fight wars? That's my question.
Because you're not only voting for war, you're voting for all their policies too. The economy, jobs, I mean, the whole nine. War is just an aspect of it. I mean,
it's the most important aspect for it. Oh my God. It's literally an aspect of voting. You know why? Because between countries, we understand that there's always the potential what, guys? The potential what, guys? Conflicts. Trump is going with these countries, and he understands that there's always a potentiality of what? A conflict. That's why he's pushing a lot for Canada to become the 51st state of the United States. He knows there's a potential. If Canada even allow China to conquer Canada, you better believe we will have boots on the ground in Canada, in my opinion. He understands that. The men that are behind Trump understand that. You guys don't understand that. You guys live in a fairy tale. You guys think that even when you make your own mistakes, a man or men will come up to the occasion and fix your problems. See, this is the problem with this system. You guys don't understand it. And we give you guys enough time to understand it, but what you guys done is just shift the system to a position that is just almost favored to go 100% to females. I mean, we can go even in the justice system, guys. It's crazy. The justice system, even if a female commit the same crime as a man, this is crazy. They get less sentences just because she's a female. There's an empathy to it, and it's a female's the most beautiful. Is a gorgeous lady, and you know what's crazy? That's crazy. You can even there's a channel dedicated to this stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's females that do bad stuff and they get sentences, but you can see this over and over and over again, especially in family courts, right? Like I will tell you something. If Johnny Depp's case, the last case, was not televised, I can guarantee you that female judge would just destroy him and favor the female. I mean, that's another thing. Females are becoming judges. Why are you becoming judges? Where's the authority of you become a judge come into place? Just because you're a female, you pass some courses and that's it? When we all know there's a potentiality of conflict, guys, we have to stop with the BS, man. We have to stop with this BS. We have to stop, guys. We cannot keep playing this game. We cannot keep playing this game. We can't. We have a problem with immigration in the Western world. That the immigration is out of control. It gets happened. Why is Russia not having that problem? Russia is not having that problem. The leader of the Russian Federation is a man. It's Putin. You think he's gonna allow his country to just go crazy with crazy immigration? Of course not. You think he's gonna allow feminists to just take over his country? Of course not. Of course not. But here in the Western world, we just allow females to lead, and they just drive this. They drive our lifestyle down to the ground because they don't understand conflict. They don't understand the economy. They don't understand how this thing is moved. And worse, they always leave from a position of entitlement.
Go and fight wars then.
I mean, I know a lot of women who were on the front lines.
No, you don't know
before.
any woman who are on the front line fighting any war anywhere. You don't know a single one.
I can name two right now.
Because women are home taking care of the
You don't know any. They're not allowed to fight in frontline combat. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed.
They are.
No, they're not. Where?
Middle East a few years ago. At least the two that I know. Yeah, they have combat hours.
They can run convoy security. They can run support roles. They're not allowed to fight in frontline combat. They're not allowed to.
Do you have military experience?
I'm just
there you go. Yeah.
I'm just
appealing to authority. That's what she's trying to do.
Explaining to you that that's how it works right this second.
Right. I
Do you
mean,
think women can be drafted?
I think women could be drafted, but I also
Wait. Hold on. Currently, can women be drafted?
not currently.
So why do you say they could be?
Because it could be, the law could be changed eventually.
Well, I mean, you could say that about anything. Currently,
it
though,
could, but
women are
also-
currently exempt under the law from being drafted.
But you also have to consider if I'm fighting next to a 6'4" man and he goes down, my ability to rescue him
next to anybody.
is, well, this is in theory, my ability to rescue him if shit hits the wall is diminished. So
Right,
do men
I
really
agree.
want women next to them in frontline combat roles? Is that really fair
There you
to
go.
them?
I thought you just said that you knew a bunch of women who are in frontline combat
I
roles.
do, I know too.
And are they?
This guy want to be with God and the devil at the same time. You're making this stupid argument. She no too, I guess, and then all of a sudden she's making the argument why the female should not be in combat, but you want to be with God and the devil.
capable of dragging the 6'6" guy out of there?
Probably not.
Then
Okay.
why the fuck are they there?
Because the army told them to be there.
No, the army didn't send them off to frontline combat. It's absurd. Okay, women have been in combat situations. That's true. But if you look, all you have to do is look at the numbers of the amount of men who die in wars, even modern ones in Iraq, Afghanistan versus women. Very few women die because they're not sent to combat situations. It's not to say they can't be in one. That does happen, right? But it's not because they're sent specifically to do that job. Now, the thing is like, just to explain this to you so that you understand, pretend for a moment, just pretend, that women, we're just going from her view, she says, I don't want women in the military, right? That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so if women aren't in the military, then theoretically then, in this isolated example, if women voted for war, they would be in a position of privilege because they would never have to fight that war, right?
And what you're saying is correct, but there's so much more that goes into
Oh
who
my
choosing
God!
who to vote for.
She cannot
by-
concede a. She cannot concede a very simple argument. They are in a position of privilege because they don't have to protect their own decisions.
than just war.
They don't have to.
Great, we'll have a great economy, and they get to send the men off to war. Fantastic. That's wonderful. But the thing is like, it sounds like a privilege is being given, whether or not you're voting for multiple reasons. There's still a privilege being given to women that men don't have. That's my point. And so it's almost like having your cake and eating it too, in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, I agree, and I think that there are a lot of privileges that women have that men don't. And that's just, I mean, men and women are equal in some areas, but they're not equal.
I like to read Rachel Wilson's super chats. It says, if you want the privileges of traditionalism, but you don't want the duties of tradition, you're a feminist. If you want the privilege of equality without the duties of equality, you're a feminist. There you go. You can't make this stuff up.
In every area, and that's fine. That's how it should be.
Let's read this
Areas
from.
are men not equal in?
Women have kids. Women have the babies. Men don't. You know,
I'm
I
sorry,
think.
does that require the genetic material from men?
I'm sorry.
Does that require the genetic material from men in order to have a baby?
Well, yeah. I mean, they don't have the same
then, yeah,
parts
so
as
then-
women.
So then the idea that a woman simply has a uterus, and by the way, it can't be that hard if every woman can do it, right? How hard could it be?
Well, I'm not saying it's difficult to have kids. It's not the argument I'm making.
Yeah, right. It's not that hard, right? So the thing is like they need the genetic material from men, and they do carry the child inside of them for 9 months. That's true. And then post a child being born, you definitely require a man if you want to have like a functioning two-parent household and well-adjusted children, right?
No, I agree with you, and I believe in a two-parent household, and I believe in having a sense of family, and I think feminism really destroys a sense of family. But, you know, there's just roles that women should have, and there's roles that men should have.
You really think that, do you? Well, like, I
Michael
gotta
Jones
ask you this.
donated $200. Women are serving in almost exclusively non-combatant roles. For context, the very first enlisted female graduated the Army's infantry course this year, after they lowered the physical standards.
And they
Thank
still
you,
didn't send her
Michael
off
Jones.
to war because that would be problematic. But the thing is I just got to ask you this: what actually do you disagree with feminists about? Name one thing you actually disagree
It's a
with
trap.
them about.
That question's
What?
a trap.
I mean, there's a ton that I disagree with feminism
give me
about.
one.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
I think that it's wrong to declare war on men, to say that all men are bad and women should be more privileged than men. That's a
That's not
terrible
what feminism
ideology.
is. It's not what feminism is. Feminism
It
is
could
just
be.
the reduction of patriarchy
Hierarchy.
for the purposes of egalitarianism.
Yeah, it's destroying
Meaning-
families, and I disagree with destroying families.
That's
Yeah,
not
but
what he
how
said.
is it doing that? What is the thing? What is the actual name a policy that you think is a feminist policy that is destroying families?
I mean, stating that women don't need men, I ain't need no man. I think that's a
not a
ridiculous
policy.
argument.
There's no United States policy of women don't need no man.
Well, are we talking
What is-
about like
what is-
U.S.
I'm
policies,
asking-
or are we
I'm
talking
asking,
about feminism?
what is the actual feminist legislation that you would disagree with?
Family
I
court.
wasn't
is
talking
it?
about actual
Stages one.
legislation. I was
Task
talking
force.
about the society ends of feminism.
Yo, no fault divorce. That's the easiest one.
Okay, so just on the social
Legislation.
aspect, then we'll leave legislation out of it. Just on the social aspect, if feminists say, I'm a feminist, but I still believe men have value, and I still believe that men have value to society, what would your quarrel with them be?
I mean, I don't really think that that's a full-on feminist then. I think that there's an appreciation for women, and I think that there's an extreme feminism view, which is destroying families, all men are
Okay,
bad,
well, then here's
that
my
kind of
last
thing.
question, very quickly, last question. Then I just got to ask you, what is a feminist?
I would consider a feminist somebody that has a hatred against men, like F the patriarchy, I don't want a family, I don't want a man, I want to go hook up with whoever.
What's the difference between that and
know.
a standard progressive then? They believe the
Not
same
too
shit.
much. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with standard progressivism.
No, what I'm saying is like, it sounds to me like what you're doing is you're conflating woke
And
with
feminism.
what feminist ideology is.
I mean, that's basically the postmodernist ideology against feminism. But they can be intertwined, both of them, right? But it can be easily confused, or even in some cases, right? In some cases, the one need the other, but you have to separate them.
These are two very different things. I think that people do this often. They conflate woke
Wokeism.
because they don't like these blue-haired, sky-screeching lunatics who are
I
like,
don't.
men are evil, blah, 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 blah. I get that. I understand not
I
liking
think they're all
woke, but-
crazy.
But feminist ideology, I very much think that you probably ascribe to.
I
Actual
agree with
feminist
womanhood to a sense, but I don't think that womanhood should be all men are bad, we don't need men. I disagree with that argument because I think women absolutely need men, and I think that men and women
Whatever. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section below. See you in the next one. I'm out.